listening to Football Field Pass, the #1 podcast for Premier League and college football news, analysis, and more. Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of Football Field Pass with me, Chris, and
I'm Kevin.
Kevin.
What's up, Chris?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
It's kind of weird because I have to look at the camera because we're gonna be on YouTube, which I'm always on YouTube, but I gotta look at the camera, but instead of just I gotta say, hey, this is a Football Field Pass. So no, this is perfect. This is awesome, man.
You can't just bury your head in the sand. You got to look up. You got to look at the bright future
camera
that apparently Tottenham has without Harry Kane.
Oh yeah, hey Tottenham, man, they won, dude. They won. But everybody, welcome to the first episode of Football Field Pass, and we are just super excited for this. And Kevin, why are we doing this?
Well, for all of you, you don't know us. You have no idea who we are. We're just two Joes that have random Premier League teams behind them. But we're going to talk about that a little more later. But Chris and I have been friends for the longest of times. We met each other when I was still living in Philadelphia before my wife's job relocated us here to Southeast Louisiana, more specifically Baton Rouge. Go Tigers. That hurts Chris. As you can see, he's wearing a Alabama Crimson Tide hat.
I almost peed when you did that, but we'll just
I didn't do the coach.
It's a bipartisan,
Exactly. We're here. We're talking about all college football, not just two teams. But no, we had this vision a long time ago. I've loved football for the longest time. Chris and I actually really became close friends playing fantasy football together. And that just kind of started us talking more about it, and we realized we just really love talking about this. And Chris has been somewhat of a podcast entrepreneur. He's got 2 other podcasts he runs. Shout out to Another Nerdy Cast and Through the Garage, and F1 American Racing podcast. They're awesome. Give them a check out on all the social networks that you can see below here. They're also on there.
I did not pay him to say that, by the way, folks. I did not say
that. There's a lot of things he doesn't pay me for. So.
I don't 0 times 0. Remember we were talking
0 times 0 always equals 0. But no, we really love football, and we love not only college football, but a more recent love for Chris and a longer term love for me has been Premier League football, or as we call it here in America, soccer. So our vision for this pod is to bring match news analysis of 2 things we love: college football and Premier League soccer. That's it. That's what the meat of this is about. It's about Premier League soccer and college football, and that's what we're here to do. And so
well, I think there's a lot of disclaimers when we're jumping into this, especially if we're talking to Premier League fans and just world football soccer fans, is that I've been in college football. You can read our bios on our website, which, by the way, thank you to Kevin Rasky. This man right over here literally started our website, Football Field Pass. Great blogs on there. Go look. There's a lot of information. I love his blogs. Love your blogs, dude. He's trying to get me to do a blog. I hope I can do a blog with him. So we're gonna work on that.
We're gonna do it. But yeah, on the website too. Just a quick shout out to that. There's gonna always be news. All these episodes, if you want to watch past episodes, they're gonna be on there. So you can always find everything about this podcast, all the news, because we do stuff when we're not even broadcasting, when we're not even recording.
Oh, dude, yeah.
We're always reporting. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, or formerly known as Twitter, the Bird app. You can find all the stuff we do. We're always reporting on what's going on. We want to always be in the know and want you to be in the know, and that's really why we're doing this.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing. So disclaimers for all the fans out there that if I pronounced the name wrong, from the team itself and to the player itself, I apologize. I am a brand new. He knows what I'm talking about. I am a brand new Premier League footy fan. So my team's Tottenham Hotspurs, go Hotspurs, and totally new. So in this podcast, I bring a little bit of the charm because I have no idea. I am Ted. All right, so you are Beard. We've been going back and forth about this. Kev, you are Beard. I am Ted Lasso. Hush a push. Hush a push.
Hush push. Hush push. Hush your butts. Hush your
Have you
butts.
ever used that term, hush bush?
Hush your butts? No, I've never used that term
You never
until this
use
moment.
hush bush?
I've never used this term.
Ah.
I may be living in the South, right now, man. But I mean, I've heard a lot of colloquialisms, but this
Not hush
is
bush?
the
Not
hush
hush
your
bush?
hush your butts.
It's hush your
Man,
butts. That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Hush your butts. Hush your butts.
So, but
Yeah.
no. So, brand new Premier Leaguer, college football, out of the womb, roll tide, and
Same here.
so
except Crimson Tide, except Alabama.
You didn't come to the best. It's okay. We're gonna convert you.
I mean,
So,
I grew up in the Midwest. All we had was Big Ten football and big offensive lines with ground and pound stuff, man. Like that's where it's at.
I get it.
Yeah.
I go Northwestern. Go Northwestern. No.
Minnesota, man, row the boat.
Oh yeah, go Gophers. Now I'll grab my field pass.
Oh, you're ready? You're finally ready to grab your field pass.
Let's grab my field pass. I got my field pass.
Grab it.
I got it.
We're gonna grab our field passes and we're gonna head down to the field because this is field pass news. So Chris, first things first, let's get, the most action right now. First off, we are less than a week away from actual college football being on TV. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Oh my gosh.
It's weird
about it.
It's weird. Like people, it's weird since I've been up here in the north. So I can actually finally say this now at this point in my career that, especially now we got ESPN going on. I have been college football forever. So when I came up here, it was Saturday for me. When I moved down south, lived down south. It was college football Saturday, church Sunday.
Yep.
It was never about the pros. And then when I moved up here, it was all about the pros. Oh, we love Penn State, but though I love the year we came and stomped the crap out of Penn State. But it's weird. Now I can actually officially be excited because not only do I have a podcast to talk about it, but now it's just so much better to get excited about college football now.
Yep.
Get on the house. Get on the house.
College football is where it's at, man. College football is where it's at every day. I mean, like, I don't no knock, no shame to the NFL. Like,
we'll sprinkle.
We'll just give a light little Salt Bay dusting of NFL
dusting.
news. But it's mostly about just college players going there and where they're heading to.
Yep,
exactly. But college football for us, it's just about the passion. It's about the tradition. It's about everything that we know that makes college football great. And I think as well. So, but with that, man, do you want to dive into college football news first, since we know there's less of it, or or do you want to go right into Premier League news because there is so much going on?
Let's hit the college football news. I think there's not a lot as far as what's going on there.
Yeah.
You know what? You got this more than I do. The Northwestern football incident. What's going on there?
Yeah, man. So, for those of you who have maybe you don't you don't care about Big Ten football, B, you don't care about Northwestern because not many people do in Big Ten. But what happened earlier last month, I believe it was in July, is that legendary head coach for Northwestern, Pat Fitzgerald, was fired from the team after allegations of hazing and toxic team culture came forth. One thing that was very evident, as multiple players who came forth kept doing, is that they said there was a bunch of things that they made them feel less than. Some said they had PTSD and could never watch a football game afterwards.
Jeez.
It's rough, but here's where the crazy thing happens is that the majority of the players came forth and supported Pat Fitzgerald in this thing, and it's not like. And so this is where the thing is, it's crazy because obviously there's a lot going on. There's a lot of people who are really mad about the toxic culture. They said there was hazing in the program. They said there was sometimes even activities that they felt were somewhat racist. It's a big topic. It's a heavy topic that a lot more people have written on. We could spend a lot of time talking about this. We don't want to make this our whole podcast getting so heavy so early too.
It's fine. Yeah, no.
But The one thing that was really interesting is just the divide that's happened in the Northwestern faithful. Basically, there's the ones who say, no, I believe Coach Fitzgerald. I'm going to stick by him. I mean, there was even some coaches after he was fired wearing a shirt with his number on it, which, in lieu, I mean, I'm sure the PR team was scrambling on that. And then there's some other, others who are just like, yeah, we really can't have this. We need to move past it. Lo and behold, I'm hoping this team can recover in some way. It's never easy to lose a head coach, especially one who's beloved and as legendary as Pat Fitzgerald. For those of you who don't know, Pat Fitzgerald was part of that standalone Rose Bowl Northwestern Wildcats team in the early 90s. He was an All-American linebacker, just absolute stud in the field. End up becoming coming to Northwestern, becoming the winningest head coach there ever. And helping them bring them to the Big Ten championship. I mean, Northwestern playing in a Big Ten championship. That's crazy. Yeah. So, I mean, overall, though, it'll be interesting to see what happens. David Braun, who was just hired as a coordinator this past offseason from North Dakota, actually FCS powerhouse North Dakota, for those of you who aren't really following FCS football at all. But he was hired. He's now the interim head coach this season. They've brought in a couple mentors to make sure he's taken care of. He's got the support he needs. It'll be interesting to see what happens to this team. It'll be interesting to see what happens to this team. In the meantime, Pat Fitzgerald's taken a volunteer head coaching job at a local Chicago area high school, Loyola Academy, who I competed against actually in high school.
Did you really?
That's
hilarious.
Oh yeah. I swam against them all the time, man. I swam against them all the time. I was a swimmer. Again, I was a swimmer growing up. That was just what I did. That was my sport. Loyola Academy, the Ramblers. They're interesting. But anyway, his sons played for that team growing up. Both his kids went to that high school. So he's their volunteer head coaching right now. We'll see what happens as lawsuits play out. And we'll keep y'all up to date as we do that as well, too. So, but that's really what's going on with that right now. So, and the other news, too, I know, Chris, you wanted to talk about today was what's going on with Jim Harbaugh.
So the NCAA and I believe Michigan themselves have imposed a 3-game self-imposed ban for 3 games against Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines. So he will not be. Now, I don't know if it's the first 3 games. I don't know if it's just the 3 games.
It is the first. It's the first 3, I think, is what I saw.
3 games. Okay. Yep. So it's the first 3 games of the season. He will not be on the sideline. So it was, how many games there are now in college? Just 12?
12 in the season, and then that's not including
playoffs and a bowl.
Yeah, it's not including playoffs.
So back in the day,
back in my day, there were only 10 games that ranked us.
No, there wasn't.
There told us what it was.
There was just there. Where's it? No, yeah,
BCS, man.
Oh,
BCS,
yeah,
bro.
I go back when there was
no before BCS. That, yeah. I
know. So he's on a 3-game suspension.
He's not missing much, though. I mean, I think they've got East Carolina, UNLV, and who is their third team they're playing? It's like Bowling Green, right?
It's East Carolina, University of Las Vegas, and Bowling Green.
Yeah. So I mean,
ooh,
left on the hand,
You know what? You better not say anything because in college football, I mean, if you say the words Appalachian State, they still get PTSD of like
the Surrender Cobra memes. And too, like, and the thing is too, I know I was reading earlier on this too that the NCAA initially was trying to negotiate a 4-game ban on him. But even if that was the case, the only game he's missing in the Big Ten slate is Rutgers.
Ooh.
Again, yeah, I mean, Michigan has a really easy schedule this year, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go over our top 25 predictions,
but
I mean, at this point, we've already told you half their schedule, and before, but he's not getting that 4th game. He's gonna be back in the Rutgers. So
it's self-imposed. Hoping that the NCAA will be okay with it.
Now, the backstory is the reason why he's getting self-imposed or getting 3-game suspension is because of infractions of recruiting.
Yep. Yeah.
So, I don't know the details of that. Do you know the details of that? Why it was such an infraction? Was it? Did he give them a chili bean casserole that he shouldn't have given? What I mean,
actually,
was
he
it?
bought some guys hamburgers? Was one of the ones. And he basically they're getting on him because he did stuff during a quote unquote recruiting dead period. Thanks NCAA for ruining everything and him being a solid dude and just buying some folks hamburgers.
Good Lord, man! So for heaven's sake, you can't buy some dude some hamburgers.
No, apparently not, man.
Cheese.
Because they were recruits.
My God,
it's because they were recruits, man.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I know. It's NCAA meddling where they don't need to meddle and making life hard for these kids who just want to play football, man.
Cheese and crackers, man.
Yeah, but there's so much money flying around.
Just be careful. Just be careful. Just be careful. Giving
cheese and crackers.
Some high schoolers some hamburgers. What kind of hamburger? What do you think hamburgers were? Do you think they were homemade?
No, I think they were. They went to a joint. He paid for them. That's the reason because there was a.
So I'm saying, what kind of what do you think? What do you think joint was?
There had to be some bacon on there.
Had to be some
Jim Harbaugh. It had to be a good Midwestern burger with a good cheddar cheese, some bacon. I feel like it was a little bougier with the garlic aioli on there. Do you think it was the Burger King? No. Jim Harbaugh.
You don't think it was the Burger King?
No, those dad pants don't tell me
he's got the dad. I was about to say. I was gonna say he's gonna get some Burger King sons. Hey guys, let's go to Burger King.
Guys, would you like a kids meal?
Kids meal. NCAA violation.
I want the 5 and up toy. Anyway, man.
Yeah. So Jim's gonna be okay. I think that team's gonna be okay. I think that schedule.
They got a great team. They got a great coaching staff. They got a great team, and we'll jump.
What does that do to that mental? The only thing is what does that do mentally to the group? What does that do mentally to, what is that just motivate them more to make it 64-8, 68-7?
I think honestly,
and then when he gets back, hey coach, look what we did.
And then here's the thing: it's a game suspension. He's not going to be coaching the game. He's still going to be coaching. Like it's not like Jim Harbaugh is just going to sit idly by, twiddling his thumbs at home.
That little hearing aid in there, and like, what is that? Nothing. What'd you say, coach? What'd you say?
Well, that's the thing. He's going to still be coaching. He's got great coordinators. He's got great staff. He's going to coach them up, and it's a cool opportunity, I think, too, for because that's one thing I think Jim Harbaugh does well is he allows others to get the spotlight when they deserve it.
Yeah. So
he's easily going to step, let those guys get the FaceTime there, and name a guy, maybe that he wants to see get some airtime and some screen time.
Yeah,
as his guy, So, but yeah, man. I'm excited to see what happens with Michigan this season. We'll talk about them a little more as we jump into our preseason breakdown later in the podcast.
Yeah.
But I think it's time we jump across the pond a little bit, man.
All right, man. Oh, you mean the Atlantic Ocean? It's a big pond, dude.
It is a big pond. You're closer to it than I am. I'm on the Gulf of Mexico.
That's right. Forget you, man. I'm closer. Whatever.
You're closer to the Atlantic Ocean than I am.
I am.
Down at the Jersey Shore.
Major news from the Premier League. Chelsea.
Yes, Chelsea. Oh my goodness, Chelsea.
Oh, that's what you're playing. Just Chelsea alone. It's enough.
All I have to say is Chelsea, and people who follow Premier League
know exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly what I'm saying. And this is one of the reasons why West Ham is my background right now. It's not only just because I'm a West Ham United fan, but it just feels so dang good when you beat Chelsea.
Yep.
And here's the thing: Chelsea have spent a ludicrous amount of money in the past year, like ludicrous. They've spent more than I think 2 or 3 leagues combined in transfer money. They've gone and signed to what? Moises Caicedo. They went out. I mean, they revamped their whole midfield. I mean, I mean, it's insane how many folks they. I mean, Caicedo is the most expensive British transfer ever. And so I just the thing about him is they spent all this money to get Pochettino, all the players that he could ever want, and he has all these tools, and it just doesn't seem like they're clicking yet, and they're not. And that's the thing is they're just so fresh and so new. I think it's going to be a while before we see this team start to show some discipline and good tactic, and that's something that's going to affect them long term. And the concern that I think a lot of other people that are non-Chelsea fans, non-Chelsea supporters, and also even folks in other leagues have is this a violation of UEFA football fair play regulations, which
What do you
actually
mean?
prevent. So the
What do you
football
mean?
fair play regulations actually prevent a certain amount of money being spent uh, to give them an unfair advantage in competition. Man City
Oops.
actually almost had that issue a while
Oops.
ago. And Man
Because
City
Chelsea
actually
just
got
spent like billions of dollars, man.
yeah,
Billions.
yeah, billions with a B.
Yeah, with a B.
And with a B, billion with a B. But like that's the thing, like the Football Fair Play Act, like Man City got dinged for that a while back. So it's I guess Chelsea's gonna be under. I mean, them playing with no sponsor on their kit, like a little 12 and under, a youth club. They got all this money. They're like, what? We don't need a sponsor. But no, man, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens within the UEFA this year if they do hand down any violations. If Chelsea decides to go out and get more, because I think they are. I think I've heard rumors of Chelsea actually trying to go out and get some more players still during the summer transfer window, as long as it remains open.
Which is really weird. It goes back debate. I'll just debate on this. I just think it doesn't matter how much even if NFL, right, or college football, or give me a Major League Baseball. Okay,
Yeah.
if anything, if Chelsea has learned, okay, we could. Or your Yankees, even the Yankees need a good leader. Even they needed a good skipper, or even Oakland A's needed a good skipper.
Yeah.
It doesn't, it doesn't matter
Yeah.
how much talent you're bringing. Doesn't how much billions of dollars. If you don't have a leader, you're not. And that's the problem. They got a good coach. They got a good manager.
But Pochettino is amazing. He was phenomenal for Tottenham.
But ego and pride in these players go a long way, and they're probably a little bit more ego. They're a little bit more here, than an average NFL player probably is here. So you know what I mean?
They make a lot more money than the average NFL player.
Exactly. So like, it doesn't matter how much you want to pay these guys. You got to have some type of leadership to steer this ship.
Well, yeah, and I think it's not only that; it's guys that are going to play. And that was the thing I think West Ham did to them this past weekend. And we'll talk about this a little more.
Yeah, they did.
Is that they outplayed them by playing as a complete unit. They played really good team football and played that David Moyes style. That again, we're going to talk about more. But they showed them that good leadership, hard work, good communication around, as a whole, even with 10 men, is still going to beat money any day of the week.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
No. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you beat them. You West Ham did it. So and they did half the salary, right? Half the salary. So
and then they're trying, and then we have the villain of the match, Lucas Paqueta. He was even taunting them and going crazy. Like, man, he's about to probably be brought down on gambling charges for all we know, because that's actually what's happening to him right now. But we can talk about that. And that's actually something that's really important. With Lucas Paqueta right now, that's there's apparently a conspiracy theory with that, but helps us transition to our next piece of news with Paqueta, who's a dynamo for West Ham, forced to be reckoned with. He's right before the match, and he was actually about to go through on a transfer deal to another team. I think it was Man City was actually looking at him, or someone was looking at him, and all of a sudden these allegations come forth about him betting on soccer or football. And there's probably other people involved. Yeah, so this is actually it's been big. So it was a big storyline during the match on Sunday.
Okay.
But the funny thing is that now there's these these things coming to light. They're like, okay, things aren't lining up. Things aren't adding up. Like, is he actually fixing matches to try and win money? Like that there's a lot coming up. But some people think that. And this is just the conspiracy theorists that are, around the Premier League fandom, is that the rumors just came up so that he wouldn't leave West Ham.
Jeez. What do you think? I mean, this is your team, bro.
Honestly, I'm going to see how it plays out. Hopefully it's fair, it's just, and the truth comes to light. That's all I'm hoping for. Until that time happens, I'm going to keep saying put him in the lineup and let his work rate absolutely dominate, man. And, that's the biggest thing. So, but yeah, man, what's our next piece of field pass news from the Premier League?
Hey, well, this is yours, man. You hate Skechers, so some reason you got a beef between Harry Kane and Skechers.
Okay, you should hate this too, man. You should.
I have Skechers. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Skechers literally. I don't know if any of y'all seen this, but Skechers literally came out with a soccer boot. They have no business doing that, but they did anyway. And guess who they get to do it? They get Harry Kane to be their first spokesperson. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, Skechers, good affordable brand. Hey, sponsor us one day. Drop us a DM. We'll talk about you every week if you want, Skechers.
Yeah.
But we're still gonna be honest about it. It's weird, man. It's weird. Because we're talking about Harbaugh's dad pants earlier. Isn't Skechers kind of like the dad, like one of the dad shoes along with New Balance?
I don't know. You got a beef between Skechers, man. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird. I mean, it's always like commercial, but I mean, and he's already like Skechers promos for his new team. Like, I guess it's all money, man. We gotta have more money.
It's all money when it comes down to it. And Bayern Munich has so much money, so many trophies, but a lot of people think too. I mean, that was another big move, this offseason during the summer transfer window was Harry Kane leaving Tottenham. Yeah. Leaving Tottenham. That's the bigger news. Like, yeah, Skechers is a big, Skechers having a boot. Oh my gosh. But Harry Kane, this is the bigger news. Harry Kane leaving Tottenham to go to Bayern Munich, man, for a really decent fee for them. And as a Tottenham supporter, man, this is Mr. Tottenham himself. Like, the guy has been with them
forever. As a teenager. I mean, he grew up with them. I just think some things probably need to change, and I think this is no Tottenham wants to hear that. No Tottenham wants to. No Premier League fan, as much as I've watched the documentaries, do not want to hear what I just said. And by the way, this is an American podcast, so I want to make sure that is laid down on this too. But Harry Kane, I mean, what I saw we're going to discuss it a little bit. We're going to highlight a little bit of it, but Udogie, Basuma, Song, Madison, Pachero, and Sarr just looked in sync. They they defended well. They looked good. It wasn't on one player. Sarr got his first goal in the Premier League, his first goal ever in this league. So it was just and Davies, we'll get to that. And so I don't. It's not like saying Harry Kane who, because they don't do that. Thank you, Harry Kane, thank you for doing what you did for those years, because you can't forget that either. So, but
then other people are like, maybe Harry Kane was the Tottenham curse, because Tottenham has no trophies, no major trophies to their name. But here's the thing: he was loaned out to Norwich City, they won a trophy. He was loaned out to Leicester City, they won a trophy. They won the Premier League, I think, that year. And now what happens? He goes off to Bayern. Do you think this is the year Tottenham wins the treble because of that? The Harry Kane curse maybe said that.
It's gonna be a lot of Ted Lasso snookums here. So that trash can's getting burned tonight. So all the Harry Kane memorabilia, Harry Kane stuff, and let's get rid of the curse. So
it's all good. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. But I really hope. I hope Harry Kane has a great season with Bayern. I hope they're able to get back to the Bundesliga, title again this year. It's a good club, man. It's the one of the best there is in the world. So, but yeah, man. And Tom,
okay,
yeah.
What's
I was gonna say, you man?
No, what did you gonna say? You say Tottenham?
Oh, no, I was just
yes, I know.
No, never gonna say Tottenham. That's never in a million years. Yeah, man.
De Bruyne out for 5 months. Fold him in.
Foden in. And we'll talk about Phil Foden a little bit later, but man, De Bruyne, that's a hard. I mean, one of the best attacking midfielders in the game today.
Yeah.
For Man City, you could definitely feel his presence was missed this past weekend. But the dude last year, he's been dealing with an ongoing hamstring injury for a better part of a year. Like he literally won a treble last year, helped them win a treble and a Super Cup. Not the Super Cup. No, with the Super Cup, yeah, with a bum hamstring.
You mean a tore butt? Tore butt.
No,
yeah.
I
had a tore butt. It's not a great thing.
No. But he busted his hamstring, man, and he literally busted his ass. I mean, for lack of better words.
Okay, all right. I used tore butt, but sure, okay.
For that type of podcast now. Yeah. But he did it for Man City to help them win. Just shows his passion for the game, how much he loves playing for Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola gets so much out of his players and asks so much of them, and they give so much back in return. But I hope he gets healthy, finally deals with the injury in the way he needs to. He got surgery recently. Hopefully he's back and he's able to maintain health with that. And, getting back in good form pretty quickly.
But 5 months is a long time, man. That's not including rehab.
It is.
That's not including rehab.
Well, no, that is it including
rehab? Is that including rehab?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a long time.
So he'll probably be playing off the bench for a while.
Yeah,
I mean, even after those 5 months, he'll probably be playing off the bench for at least another month or two just to get his work rate back up. So, yeah.
You didn't get the Lasso reference, did you? That was a Lasso reference, a tour butt.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh,
okay, there it is. All right.
So another thing with Chris is he makes so many Ted Lasso references. Y'all are just gonna
hush your butt. You hush your butt.
You hush your butt. Yeah, that's a good show. It's a great show if y'all haven't watched it.
Well, I want to wrap up on the football field news.
Yeah, that's
field pass news. The Spanish president. So in the FIFA women, the Spaniards won.
Ooh,
so
yeah,
great job, ladies.
Congratulations
awesome job.
to them. It was a phenomenal Women's World Cup.
Good job, Lionesses.
Yep,
doing their thing.
England. I just one thing to England really quickly. It's not coming home. I'm sorry. It's not coming home.
It's coming home.
No. One of these days,
that video is so sweet too. I love the video they did. They redid the video.
And the thing is, every time that any little spark of hope happens for England in the World Cup or any international competition, it's coming home chant comes out. And I feel for them. I hurt for them. I understand it being the country that pretty much gave the world football. Or soccer. Us American folks know it as. It's football. That's why this is football field pass. We talk about both kinds of football here. But anyway, it's so sad to see and so disheartening because they're just so hyped up about it coming home and they just get so close. It's like,
it's not coming home.
No,
it's not coming home. It's not coming
home
this year.
It's not coming home. It's not coming home. But anyway, on with the Spanish team.
So on that note, with going down, soccer balls everywhere.
Yeah.
The Spanish. This is the sad news. The Spanish president, supposedly has some not bad blood, but it's certainly some things that the decision making and his way of doing things, as far as hiring the coach, treating the women that they are, treating the women. That's the one I couldn't like. He doesn't really believe in the women's sport, but yet supports them. And then he kisses the girl.
Yeah, and he was based. I mean, he did a lot during that. Spaniards are famous too for that machista culture. They dedicate their lives to soccer. It's the pinnacle of sport for them. The problem is the Spanish Football Federation president, his behavior, just not even just for that moment where he gave the girl an unwanted kiss, which you never do in any way. That is just absolute Lothario-like behavior. I can't even fathom what he thought what he was doing. I mean, and then too, there's video of him grabbing his crotch next to the royal family in the box as they're watching the match unfold. But really, when they asked Hermoso what happened, and she was asked about the kiss, and everything, she really, really didn't like it. It kind of was confused. It sparked a lot of confusion, a lot of outrage. There's no relationship obviously there. Was it anything unwanted? So there's a lot of stuff that they're trying to really figure out. There's a lot of unknown in this right now.
It's just weird. Like,
it's weird. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's kind of, I can't believe I'm actually saying this. It's kind of sexist. And it's kind of like unsportsmanlike. And he's the president of Spain, or he's the president of Spain?
The Soccer Federation.
Federation.
Yeah,
that's even worse. And if she ever pushed it, she could say, "Well,
but here's the thing: is she's been laughing it off. Here's the thing. The thing that's really crazy is he appeared in the locker room later. He promised. He was there. Honestly, he's a big fan of Hermoso. But he even said too, there are idiots everywhere. He's quoted as saying, when asked about the kiss on Spanish radio and the outcry from it, is that there are idiots everywhere. When two people have a minor show of affection, we can't heed idiocy. That looks like a little more than a minor show of affection to me. And really, too, it mirrors his handling of the deeper controversy that he's embroiled with. A lot of the women's national team core players really raised a lot of concerns with their head coach last season, Jorge Vilda. Yep. And the federation overall, and they alleged really the staff really was dictatorial and remained unprofessional a lot of time. They said that their environment they were a part of, really harmed both the team's performance from their emotional and personal state. Yep. They felt really unsupported. They 15 of them sent emails to the federation, indicating they would decline the national team invites until the situation is reversed. And with Rubiales, the Spanish soccer federation president, he really came back with a strongly worded statement about and publicized the emails and vilified the players. And really, the past 11 months prior to the World Cup, it was just very dramatic. It was divisive. It was anxiety riddled. And even though that's all going on, the Spanish women, they still won, which is insane, and a really, really great match overall. But still, I'm just very interested to see how this goes on. It's not the first time. He also, he also is given a kiss to a player. Olga Carmona on the cheek. That was another one. He hugged a lot of the players. But really, it depends. It also depends on the culture come from. So we really have to see how this plays out in the Spanish culture. In America, obviously, that's unwanted in every single way. We don't want to see that happening. FIFA
what does she say about it? She's just laughing it off? Or is she laughing it off because is she laughing it off because it'll take away what they have done?
I don't know, man. There's a certain like machista culture in Spain that is very all about machismo and charisma, blah, 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 passion. That definitely I think played into that. But at the same time, a lot of Spanish journalists, they really are pointing out the federation's policy on quote unquote forced kisses considered as unacceptable conduct with immediate consequences. FIFA really didn't respond immediately and when asked for comment on the situation. But basically they released a mutual statement, or this is which is confusing to me. And I think there's a lot of confusion, a lot of white noise going on in this. The Spanish Federation responded really to all these allegations, hoping to attempt to quell it. It released a statement in Spanish that said it was from Hermoso, the player that got kissed, that said this was a totally spontaneous and mutual gesture due to the immense joy that winning the World Cup gave us. The president and I have a great relationship. His behavior with everyone has been excellent, and it was a natural gesture of affection and gratitude. We have won a World Cup, and we are not going to lose sight of what is important. However, though, Hermoso, the player that was kissed, did not post that statement on her social media, and her only post since the match is a video from the airport in which she attempts to jokingly go through security with her medals on. Apparently the kiss didn't dampen her joy, but it didn't mean it was harmless. We have to wait to see what happens, man.
So here's the thing, and let's read between the lines. We're not going to get political about this crap, but
No.
everything is political, even in the sports arena. But
yeah,
I've gotten. Listen, we've talked about the women's USA team, and they certainly nothing they have said or done that it's not factual. Okay,
no. Yep.
But something that I'm very proud of as an American, that we can let them do whatever they want because it is our right to do whatever we want, and we don't put words in their mouth. They say what they want to do and believe, and rather we disagree with them or not, we have another example of what freedom does not look like and put in somebody's words.
Yeah, exactly. So either way, man, it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out over the next few. There's so much controversy and turmoil on it. I think we're really gonna have to wait to see what happens as the smoke clears from the situation.
Yeah.
I just don't think Rubiales is gonna be. He's getting vilified by journalists, and I think they're just not gonna be able to avoid the controversy anymore, and they're gonna have to jettison him maybe to the curb. So hopefully, we'll see what happens, man.
Hopefully, it'll be a win. So who cares?
Yeah. Either way, they have a world. Either way, like that statement said, they have the joy of winning a World Cup. They achieved the pinnacle of their sport. Really.
Yeah.
I just it's just sad that little bit of, it's like you drop a bit of chemical into a glass of water, that whole glass of water is tainted.
Right.
And that's the hard part. But also too, I do want to say this. We want to focus, obviously we want to bring light to all the situations going on and make sure, everything's done from a fair, unbiased perspective as well too, in this.
Yep.
So, we want to report objective fact and truth, and hear both sides of the statement and let y'all decide what it is really at the end of the day. And we don't want to project any of our own biases on that in any way.
Yep.
But yeah, man. So that's, I think, all we have for football field pass news this week.
Yeah, man.
You ready to move on to the pitch?
Man, let's go to the field, man. Let's go to the pitch. Let's do it.
Yeah,
let's go to the pitch.
To explain our format, here, just since this is our first episode, we're just introducing y'all to us. It's we're gonna get our news right out the gates every week, both for football and football. But no, Premier League and college football right out the gates, for y'all. And then Chris and I, for both college football and soccer each week, we each pick one match and one game, and then we have a toss-up we decide on together. We watch those games, watch those matches. We are going to dive deeper into those because obviously there's so much going on. We can't dive into everything. Chris and I would be sitting here till Thursday talking about this if we covered every match.
And then it's match weekend again. It's fixture weekend again. So
exactly. So Chris, which match do you want to dive into first, though, for our matches of the week?
Let's move up to the Crystal Palace and Arsenal. Mine.
Yeah, that's the most recent in memory. Let's get there. So that's Chris's match of the week. Chris, why don't you take us through what happened with Crystal Palace and Arsenal today?
It was good. It was a good match. I mean, it was something. Again, disclaimer: new. I think on a short end, it's a 1-0 game. But that one goal, we're definitely doing just a brief 101 for me of penalty shots, and we'll get there.
Yes.
But that was the only shot. That was the only goal. These two teams matched really well. Saka at the end was just exhausted. There was a man that got thrown out. Tomiyasu. Yeah. Don't wait on the throw-ins, bro.
And that's the thing too, man.
And don't piss off the ref.
Time wasting is something they're really cracking down, because time wasting, I think, has been the number one thing. There's been 14 yellows in the opening 2 game weeks just on time wasting alone, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at they went 7 minutes on this. Tottenham's were 9. I think 10. There was a match where it was 9. Like they take it very seriously, and they're going to add it to the end. So
absolutely.
These guys. I mean, Saka at the end. You can look at. I mean, if it
his
was an
work
Oscar
rate, but
nomination, he
yeah.
was just exhausted at the end.
Well, and they're only playing with 10 men for close to 30 minutes, man. Like,
Yep.
he's absolutely exhausted, man.
They still defended well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, and that sending off of Tomiyasu was not easy because
my God.
It was a
and that was
stupid
harsh.
penalty.
That was harsh.
It was a
way
stupid
harsh.
second
I looked
penalty.
at it.
It was stupid on his part, really. But he
didn't do anything. He didn't do anything.
He wasted time.
Well, he did do that.
Yeah.
No, he did do that. But
he went spikes up. That's the thing. Is that he went he went down to the ground. He went spikes up. Too long. He could have avoided it. That's the thing. He did it with the intention.
The reason why he got fouled was he threw it looked like he threw a player on the ground. He did.
Yeah. Well, and that's
he did. Oh no,
he
barely touched.
It's Eve that went spikes up. Sorry,
right. Eve went spikes up, but he didn't do anything. And so when you look at the camera, but you're pissing off the ref a little bit much. And if you look at the ref went.
Yeah. Well, the officiating today, in that match too, was really strict. Like he was, like by the book. He is gonna make you pay for every mistake you make. He is a stern father, spanking you on the behind, and your butt is red after he's done with you because he can't. That was just the whole match. It was such.
I think it was just harsh for Toshami. It was way too harsh. Way too harsh. Tomiyasu was just way too harsh on that, and it was just way too harsh on. So evenly, they were just awesome. I think Crystal Palace did a great job defending. Mm-hmm. I just think it was a mistake that let's go ahead and jump because evenly the teams really did play really well defending and offensively. Mm-hmm. I didn't get a good look at the shot count, but I think it was pretty evenly there too.
Yeah. They were generally very good throughout that until Tomiyasu was sent off.
Yep.
That's the hard part. Overall I was happy to see what happened today. There was a lot of good stuff. I have my stats here on my sheet. Let me get them up. There we are. Shot count, they were dead even 14, but they weren't putting.
They were 14, yeah. So they were
14 on shots.
Possession was about 53, 46.
54
shots on target with 2-2-3. So the shots were 14-14. Touches were about $100.
Pass accuracy was
difference.
Dead even pretty much. It was.
It was just that penalty shot. So
two, they couldn't get much on goal today too. Crystal Palace
had it. They had it.
They only
94.
put 2 on goal, and Arsenal only put 3 on goal.
They had it. That's 95. They had it at 95.
I know.
At 95 minutes, he had a clear shot. It was right there. And when I saw it, and he replayed it, and then I saw it, I'm like, that was it. That was your.
Yep. That
was your draw, and you missed it.
Yeah. They really, Palace squandered an amazing opportunity to get 3 points today. They just eked out 3 last week against Sheffield, and they absolutely squandered.
I think if they have shot that, I think this was a draw. I think it was a one-piece team. It should have been a draw, and it should have been because they were so evenly matched. And so let's go to the penalty. Because that's killing me.
Yeah,
that's what did it.
That's
what did it, right? Boo boo. That's what did it. So, did you see it?
I did. I did see it.
So tell me from the start, why is that a penalty? Why is that illegal? And what did the goalie do wrong? What's your opinion on it? That's what made the game.
So, for those of you who aren't Arsenal and Crystal Palace supporters, and you're not watching, these regularly, what happened today is the Crystal Palace keeper, Johnstone, went down to the ground when Nketiah, one of the strikers for Arsenal, was coming into the goal, and so the reason I think I'm looking at it now, I've rewatched a couple times, It's a penalty. It's a hands down in the box penalty.
Okay.
The one thing for Chris, obviously you being a newer
Yeah.
Premier
So
League fan, a newer fan.
explain it. Yeah.
The one thing is in American sports, goalies and goalkeepers are always protected. They always get special provisions. Like in hockey, you hit a goalkeeper in the trapezoid, you're going to get immediately thrown in the box. In certain sports, whenever it's a goaltender of any sort, you're going to have special provisions in American sports protecting them. Now, in soccer or football, for all y'all folks across the pond that may hear this, you never know. Goalkeepers, they do have some special, provisions. Obviously, they're the only player on the field that can touch the ball with their hands, but at the same time, also they're still under, strict observation. They can foul. They can have cards drawn on them. I mean, keepers have been sent off mid-match for really reckless fouls, and because they've subbed out all their players for the match, another player is forced to put on the shirt and go in the goal. Like that's the craziest thing. But anyway,
explain why it was a penalty and explain why. It was a penalty shot.
So the biggest thing is it's a penalty shot because it happened within the box. Okay, that's the biggest thing. That's when pretty much any penalty happens in the box, penalty shot automatically. Mm-hmm. Outside the box, it's going to be a free kick.
Free kick. Right.
So Johnstone, what he did is, and this is why they had to go to VAR too. They went to the video analysis review too. They went to the VAR to see if he made contact with the ball when he went down to the ground. Because if he made contact with the ball, it wouldn't have been a penalty.
Okay.
Because he's trying to make a save on the ball. Mm-hmm. Really, what he was trying to do was take out Nketiah and prevent him from scoring.
So that's the crux. Yeah. That's where the cooking is. Okay, so because he went after the player himself, which is the penalty in itself, and not the ball, is why he got a penalty shot. Okay.
Yeah. So if you look here, I'm gonna do this.
I was gonna do it. I was gonna be like, but go on, play it, man. If you could share.
I'm gonna pull up the image right here because I just had it open a second ago. Of Nketiah taken down.
Because be honest with you, that is what did the match. That's what. Did it.
It's it. I mean, Odegaard converted easily from the spot. I mean, it's insane how easy from the spot.
And the guy Odegaard took the penalty shot. It wasn't.
Well, no. And that's not.
It was Saka.
Nketiah
with Odegaard, right?
It was Nketiah who Nketiah who was the one who got hurt got penalty or no not Nketiah. He was the one who got taken down,
right?
But if here I'm gonna share the screen with everyone really quickly so you can see actually exactly what he's doing. For those of you who are on YouTube, if you're also quick shout out to the folks who are listening to this on Spotify. You can find this on YouTube. You can always watch us see these ugly mugs every week. Hopefully you come back for more after seeing these ugly mugs.
We're a bunch of American Joes.
Yeah. So if you see this here, though, you can see clearly
that's a penalty. See, after explained, right? Because again, this is what we should make a segment of Premier League 101. But I mean, that is clearly, that is clearly a penalty. And now explain.
I'm not gonna lie though. If you look here too, though, with his toes up like that, there's also some clear embellishment. So he saw his opportunity. He's gonna take his.
These guys, man, they got some Oscar nomination stuff going on, bro. Especially.
But that's the game. That's the game. That's the sportsmanship. Like they always say. Rugby is a game of felons played by gentlemen, where soccer or football is a game of gentlemen played by felons, or thugs,
Yeah. So this right here, this is a great shot. This right here, is the game.
It is. And here's the thing is, and Chris, I'm not sure if you're aware of this. It doesn't matter who the foul was against.
Yeah.
Is that you're going to put your best person on the spot, Your defensive back may have been fouled, but you're going to put your striker, who's an ace at scoring from penalties, in to take the penalty shot. You put anyone in to take the penalty. Yep. That's why Odegaard got the call up there for that.
Yep.
So, anyway,
which makes sense. It makes perfect sense.
Absolutely.
I mean, because if that was the winning, which was the winning goal, crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. So, who was your man of the match for this?
It was an intense game, all the way around. there was nothing much more than just drama and intensity on both players, on both teams. As far as that, you asked me
man of the match. Who's your
man of the match. We did that. We're doing that. We doing that, man.
I just
did you just throw that in? Did you just throw in more stuff, man?
I don't know if anyone's.
We're at 56 minutes, and you're gonna do man. God, man, we're gonna be
it's a quick one, man. I can tell you who mine was immediately. I
Actually, I know who this. I know who this guy is. I just wanted to pronounce his name right. Agnew is Agnew.
Oh, yeah, Agnew. Yeah,
Agnew.
Ayu, you mean, or Agnew?
Ayu.
Okay.
I think it's James Agnew. Let me just look him up real quick because he does he does need to be deserved to be shout out. I think he did a great game. I think he was just pulling the team together, and he was never substituted. He played he played just awesomely. I really, really, really like him just doing what he needed to do, and I believe he is the captain. So oh my god, I pull him up and they're not. This is great. Well, are you kidding me? Yeah, Jordan Agnew.
Agnew,
forward. He's a captain. So I honestly, I think he's my man of the match. I mean, Aldenar scored the goal.
I mean, he scored the goal,
scored the goal, but you could just tell that he was truly trying to get a draw, at least at this point.
So for me, for this match, I mean, I hate to say it, I'm sad he's no longer with West Ham, the most expensive British transfer ever, but Declan Rice, man, I mean, he is worth every penny. The guy was an absolute beast when Arsenal went down to 10 men. His defensive efforts absolutely saved the day every single time and kept Arsenal, ahead and got them to 3 points. It was definitely Rice all the way through for me for this match, man. All right. Who ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah, let's do what do you want to do? I already did it. I did mine.
I'm gonna do mine. I'm gonna jump in mine. It's not because I'm biased. I've said this already. Match of the week for me was Chelsea West Ham.
It was a good match. It was fantastic.
Match. Oh my gosh. It was beautiful. They came out in pretty decent matching sets. It was interesting for me. Chelsea came out because they have all these they have this really great midfield. They came out with a 3-back set. So they came out with a 3-4-2-1. Which was shocking for me, going a 3-back set against a high pressing team like West Ham. That's one thing West Ham always does, is they really try to press. But with the athletic midfield like Raheem, and also Raheem Sterling out in the wing, man, oh my gosh, Chelsea was absolutely exploiting our fullbacks the whole time and getting in behind them and just terrorizing them. And it shows again. We were talking about Declan Rice with Arsenal. Man, like we really have a weakness there at fullback, and I think other teams are going to see that and they're going to exploit it. I have a couple really beautiful moments. James Ward-Prowse, man, the Bournemouth signing that we brought in during the summer transfer window, 30-something million from Bournemouth. Man, he was for me, he is worth every penny. He should have been a bigger transfer fee. I mean, I'm glad we got him for what we did, but those set pieces he gave to us at West Ham, man, he delivered some really beautiful corner kicks, which eventually led to Naif Aguerd actually 6 minutes. So his 4th minute was a corner kick, beautiful, right on point, good chance there. West Ham really pressing high, really keeping possession, and then Ward-Prowse gets another one 2 minutes later to give Aguerd a beautiful header, an uncontested header, and that was what was really shocking to me, was how uncontested Aguerd's header was. Yeah, absolutely. And he, pretty much almost unscathed, and really like Chelsea's defense at that moment in the 6th minute, they just were playing uncoordinated. They were playing uninspired.
Bro, they had more shots on you than you did.
Yep. But
they had 17 shots. You had 12. How in the world?
Well, we also went down to 10 men though. Don't forget as well.
You got a red card.
Yep. We got a red card. In the second half, Aguerd, who had a yellow during the first half, he made a really stupid. He went to ground way too early. there. He went to ground way too early. He played a bit carelessly today. He really hurt, or not today. He really played a bit carelessly on Sunday and really hurt the team going to ground so early in the 67th minute. Really, it took away a lot of energy West Ham had created to play with only 10 men for pretty much over a quarter of the game. I mean, it really hurt us. But the one thing that really showed is that how tight knit a group West Ham are and how well David Moyes has them playing.
Who got red carded?
A red card was Agard.
Agard?
Yeah, Agard, the guy who scored the header in the 6th minute.
Nice, Agard.
He's a center back for West Ham. So yeah, man. I mean, even without them, the offensive work rate for West Ham was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it was.
Antonio. Oh man, Michael Antonio. I mean, that guy he is a pure workhorse, man. The guy just works hard. He's a good dude. That's one thing, the commentators have been saying.
Bro, I'm looking at your stats, man. How did you win with 3-1?
Here's the thing.
75.7 possession?
Yeah, like I told you, man.
Good 716 passes. What?
Yeah.
This goes back to what we're talking about.
Stats don't make jacks.
You can.
This is the beauty of the Premier League, the absolute insanity and beauty of this league.
Wow.
Oh man, the absolute insanity and beauty of it.
And you did that. Wow. Sorry, man. Go ahead. That's crazy.
I mean,
bro.
West Ham defended so valiantly, man. They took the chances they got. After Agard went out, Moyes subbed in Ogbonna and Fornals. They really provided some positive energy. Man, we scored a goal with 10 men. I mean, there were some really good charges from Fornals up the set. I mean, there was a lot of chippiness. Paqueta, who also had a high work rate, man. The dude was cramping so much by the end. They literally had to carry him off the field almost.
Wow.
But you could see at the end how visibly frustrated Chelsea was because nothing was going there. They were doing everything they could. But the thing about West Ham is they played well-organized football with a lot of heart and pressed the heck out of Chelsea and made them really work for it. It made them make mistakes. Chelsea got careless.
On paper. It shows it on paper. That was just unbelievable. Why did Chelsea? I have a Chelsea guy. Shout out to Reiner. Chelsea. Sorry, man. You were hurting, bro. You were hurting. Jeez and crackers.
Yeah.
That Roy call him the Roy Kent of the reality when he said Man U was desperate. I don't know about this. I don't know if he's talking about this game, bro. Geez.
Well, the West Ham supporters didn't make it any easier on them too.
I'm sure they didn't.
I'm not going to repeat the words here on the podcast. We do try to keep it clean. But another word was used for fecal matter, and they're chanting as the final penalty happened there. All the Chelsea fans were just mass exiting out of the stadium. And all the supporters like, your money is, like they were so furious. Oh, but the key moment of just sloppiness towards the end was the funny part was the most expensive sign, Moises Caicedo, completely messed up and stepped in to try and stop the play, but he ended up getting in there, tripping up Paqueta. And I think it was Paqueta got tripped up and caused it. That's what gave the third point, that penalty from the spot. 10 men, and we're still getting in there, man. So, overall, I mean, I could talk all day about how beautifully West Ham played.
I'm sure you can. I mean, just look at the stats right there.
Again, stats don't mean jack in Premier League. It is an absolutely beautiful game. It's the insanity that makes it amazing to watch. But my final thoughts really on this was West Ham really played beautifully together. They show it takes more than money to help a team win. It'll take some time, I think, really before Pochettino can get these men playing together. I don't think Chelsea's going to be winning the league this year unless they really spend some time looking deep into their hearts and souls and seeing this. But West Ham, the champions of Europe, which is great to say because we have a Europa League title under our belt from last season. The champions of Europe, West Ham, are massive. I'm gonna forever be singing Bubbles, man. But I'm gonna say I have two men of the match here. James Ward-Prowse was an absolute spot-on passer. Every time he touched the ball, it looked like poetry in motion. Mm-hmm. And then I just got to give a shout out to Michail Antonio, man. That guy has been such a steady, stable force for West Ham for so long. And he is just absolutely probably one of the, hands down, just the work rate he had alone. I mean, he was gassed by the time he came out of the field, but he gave everything he had. He's not the fastest guy. He's not the strongest guy, but he is going to go out there and give West Ham everything he has.
Right.
One thing I do want to side note is I was a little sad during this. I almost put the Bowling Ground. I mean, I have the old school West Ham crest as my background.
Yeah, I see that.
I miss the Bowling Ground, man. London Stadium is just so soulless. I mean, they mentioned that a lot on the broadcast for Premier League this past week. Mm-hmm. I hate watching some of these London Stadium matches because it's such a soulless corporate stadium. They're so far away from the track, or so far away from the pitch. I mean, because London Stadium refused to get rid of the track and bring the fans closer to the pitch. Mm. They mentioned a lot just how much the Bowling Ground, is missed, truly missed in there. And it really means the energy just flows and ebbs. When the Bowling Ground, energy was always there, and energy is such an important part of Premier League football. So, but anyway, that's enough of me, man. Do you have a man of the match for West Ham or Chelsea?
I don't. You got him. Those are two. I didn't get a chance to see the West Ham. Yeah. Sorry, my man. Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. We good.
I watched a lot of Hot Wheels, Team Hot Wheels.
That's the joy of being a father.
For a father.
We're both fathers.
Both fathers.
Yeah, we're both fathers for all of those y'all joining us for the first time tonight.
So let's give a quick look. You want to do the toss-up match? Or you talk about Man City versus Newcastle?
This was the match of the week, I think, all around the Premier League.
You did, because we did. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's our match of the week this week, and I think everyone had this as their match of the week.
Yep.
What were your thoughts, man? I talked a lot about West Ham. You're talking about this.
So when I say chess match, that's what I would look at this match as far as that. I think just like the Crystal Palace and Arsenal game, this was definitely a chess match too as well. Yeah. Definitely a great play by Man City. It was one goal, correct? It was just one goal that just won it for Man City. Stat wise, I mean, again, dead on. Man City did more shots, which is really surprising because Newcastle, if you saw the last weekend, they were just destroying.
Yeah.
Was it the Wolf? No, it was Brighton. No, Everton.
Everton. Yep.
And just absolutely, but the touches I think made a little bit more difference, and the tackles probably made a little bit more difference. But a chess match. These two managers really testing themselves as far as defending. A lot of defending was really great because there's only one goal, and I guess this is what I'm talking about, chess match. So when I say that now, and you see it in American football, sure, you see it in baseball, but in Premier League, that's the one thing I see. It's a chess match, and once it gets to that point, it's like you really got to be on your toes. And Alvarez came through.
Yep, absolutely. It
wasn't Thor himself. I'm sorry, man.
Holland's number.
Holland's Thor, man.
Yeah,
nobody has ever nicknamed him yet.
The dude is an absolute giant.
He's a beast.
He's a giant. There's a shot of him. He's walking up the pitch, and man, the dude is just towering over all the other folks. Newcastle defensively just had his number. They had Man City's number, but they played a little sloppy there towards the end, and
they did.
That was the hard part, and that was what let Alvarez freed up. They gave him too much space. And he just launched an absolute missile from the top of the box. But here's the thing. It was off a beautiful pass from Phil Foden. Phil Foden. That little side heel flick.
Yep.
It was absolutely beautiful, man. And
Yep.
yeah, I mean,
there's nothing great, and just like in basketball or in hockey, but so much more in Premier League. There's nothing more like an assist. It really is sweet. It's so sweet when you could do an assist like
so
that.
Important, man.
It's just it's so vital to be a team. It has to be.
And yeah, man, absolutely. And the thing about this match too is that Newcastle kept a really high line. They kept pushing them as far, but they kept a high line, but they weren't pushing them as far as they usually do, just because Man City has so much athleticism on there. They kept dropping 4 back from the midfield. I mean, they were playing almost like a 5-6 line defensive set. Really trying to play, tight marking football in the middle, really pressuring them to give up the ball. And the thing is, Newcastle was a lot fitter than Man City was, because Man City had just come off that Super Cup match 2 days earlier.
Yep.
But overall, Man City just showed up. This is where money actually wins out, but money with really good management that demands excellence.
Yes.
At all times.
And you gotta give it to Newcastle to keep them where they were.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you have just like I said, the chess match that they both played in both defending and offensively.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
It was just great. So
yeah,
I like the match. My man of the match would be Phil Foden.
Phil Foden,
absolutely fantastic. Taking the Brynum position. When the manager gives you a high praise, you take it and run.
Yep.
And you just keep building upon that. So who's your man?
Absolutely. My man of the match is still Phil Foden. The dude, I mean, he was an absolute lights out, solid threat the whole time. He displayed excellent pace. He displayed excellent work. I mean, Man City, at the end of it, Man City really dismantled Newcastle, a much fitter Newcastle. Newcastle got really disorganized defensively. Phil Foden really took advantage of that. He really helped on that. They outshot them. 14-7, Man City outshot Newcastle.
Yep.
With 4 shots on target, they outpossessed them. Nearly 60% possession for Man City.
Yep.
They had a pass accuracy of 89 to 86, but there were 684 passes to 477 Newcastle passes.
Yeah.
It like was I said, ultimately
it was close, but the thing is, like the passes is what kind of the touches is what kind of.
Yeah, well, and that's that tiki taka Pep Guardiola style football. It's going to be quick, short passes, open it up, and attack when you can. Attack. Pep Guardiola. I'm a fanboy for him. Pep Guardiola Pep Guardiola. He is he's the most brilliant mind there is in soccer.
I agree.
Yep. And I think he's the greatest man, probably the greatest manager to ever, manage in the Premier League, other than Sir Alex Ferguson.
I agree.
So yeah, man. So then that's our match of the week there for sure.
Yep.
Man, who is your team of the weekend?
Team of the weekend. Let me hold on 1 second. Team of the weekend.
You wouldn't forget. You just gotta look behind you, dude.
Yeah, I know. We did team of the weekend. Who are we talking about? Oh, the number one Premier League table right now is Brighton. Just absolutely fantastic. Their fans must be going. It's early, bro. We're early in the season right now. We're just waking up, right? So absolutely fantastic as far as what Brighton's doing. They're only been 2 played, but they've both won their games. They're at 6 points, and their next team is West Ham. So Brighton
are they? Yeah, Brighton, West Ham. Yeah, they are.
Brighton is my.
It's crazy. This is again the insanity of the Premier League, and I think it's just going to be an insane season. If this continues and Brighton continues to be what they are, Oh my gosh, number one in the league. Premier. Can we imagine saying at some point Premier League champion Brighton and Hove Albion?
Wow.
Whew,
That'd be crazy.
that's
Bro,
weird,
that'd be
man.
crazy. That'd be
That would be
crazy.
insane, and I would love to see it. I mean, Brighton deserves it. They're such a great homespun club. They do a lot of work, signing a lot. I mean, Moises Caicedo, they signed him for what 20 to 30 million, and they literally doubled their investment in him, getting 100 something, 140 something million off of him for the transfer fee.
Yep.
I mean, that's what they do. They go out and like to the craziest places in the world, find the best players, and they bring them in and they coach them up, they train them, and they develop players very well. So I will give it to Brighton. My team of the week.
Yeah, man. You didn't even write it. You didn't write it in because you're holding it. You're holding that card.
You should know it. You should know it.
Is it that team?
It's right the team above my shoulder.
Right there, right there.
The one that I bleed.
Hey, listen.
Let
me give a shout out. Tottenham. Glory, 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 Tottenham. Beating Man U this weekend.
I don't know if it's
fantastic.
It's not as much of a
fantastic. I don't want to hear you, West Ham.
Roy Keane just called them the new Tottenham, Man United. He said, I don't know if you saw that, man, but Roy Keane.
Oh, no, I did. You mean the Roy Keane of real life?
Yeah, what he's been sitting there, he's like, well, if I had to call describe Man United in one word, like I call them desperate. They're the new Tottenham.
I just like Ange, who comes in, the new manager. He just has a feel. I'm learning this game, so I'm learning the philosophies. But not gonna lie, this is a very I wear my emotions on my sleeve kind of sport.
Mm-hmm.
So I can read the presence and the vibe and the energy that he brings to this team. And it's just so exciting. Like, it wasn't Madison did fantastic. Song just was there as a great leader. But to see Basama and Udagi, it was great to beat Man U.
It was good, man.
After 6 years? They call me up, man. So
anyway, man. My team of the week is my Clarendon Blue Boys, West Ham United. They played absolutely beautiful football this past weekend. There's no doubt that they deserve the praise that's due to them. Beating Chelsea is always great for any team. So we're part of the Chelsea hate squad here. No, at least I am with that London derby. But man, that's my team of the week.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, let's head to what this weekend's all about. Let's head to the gridiron.
I'm so ready. College football's back, man.
We lost Kevin. I don't know where he went. He's gone. Oh, there he is. Okay.
I'm so excited. Oh, you have no idea. I literally raged my data connection out of existence.
You did. So
I am so excited.
Kids are waking up.
My kids are crying because I'm screaming. My wife is so annoyed with me saying, "Hey, honey, guess how many days are left?"
Yeah. Let's start off, and I think this is going to be our bulk of this segment.
Yeah.
The preseason top 25 list.
So, do we want to reveal ours? Or do we want to wait to reveal ours? Let's go through the AP preseason top 25.
Let's do AP. Okay.
Yeah. So
let's do this. Let's do the AP.
Yep.
And then let's do ours at the end.
Yep. I think we should wait to reveal ours. I'm gonna pull up the AP so I can just call them out to you, man.
Yeah.
So I think there's no doubt this, like, the top four is pretty standard for a lot of folks. Number one, I think with everyone, Georgia, man. Georgia's definitely deserving of the ranking, man.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of folks got Michigan in that 2 spot.
Yep.
I want to jump in first. A lot of folks have seen this. 3 is Ohio State for the AP top 25, 4 Alabama, 5 LSU, 6 USC, 7 Penn State, 8 Florida State, 9 Clemson, and 10 the Washington Huskies to round out that top 10. If y'all haven't seen it yet, definitely go to footballfieldpass.com. We have a blog on there breaking down the AP preseason top 25. If you wanted to go into full details, but Chris, I want to know, who do you think are the teams in this preseason that are receiving too much hype?
Ohio State.
Always.
Let me just go to my notes here. When you just said Ohio State, I'm like, Ohio State. I was gonna say Ohio State. I think there's two for me. There's two.
Yeah.
Ohio State and Texas. I think Ohio State is always that team that we talked about last night. They if you beat them, somehow they go up. What is the science of that? What is the votes of that? Who's got the big pockets? Let's be honest here. Okay.
Alabama has the big pockets.
No. Don't you slide that mark, sir. Don't you? We fought hard for that money, boy. And Texas. I think Texas is way too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
if they have a good solid year, good for them. But I just don't think where are they ranked? By the way, they were in the top 10.
They're ranked 11th in the AP preseason.
They're ranked top 15. I don't think they should.
Yeah, they're ranked 11th in the top preseason poll. I think really for a lot of them, it's the fact that they have such a good quarterback and they've recruited a lot of really athletic players. But I'm really I'm part of the pump the brakes Texas. I think Texas fans, this is no offense to y'all can be a bit delusional at times. You're so quick to say Texas is back.
Hook 'em.
But
let's hook 'em.
Yeah.
Hook 'em.
Horns down. No. Dude, Horns down. I'm going to get fined by the Big 12 for this. I'm going to get fined by the SEC for this next year. I mean, Texas thinks they're bigger than they have been. I mean, they were great for a long time. They're a storied program. But I've yet to see the proof in the pudding that they're back. Quinn Ewers is a great quarterback recruit. He's got to stay healthy this season. But I think there's going to be there could be the potential for some elevated play because he's got Arch Manning breathing down his neck. Everyone is like, they're salivating over the fact they have a Manning on their bench right now in Texas. And they're low. They got great athletes. It's just, again, is it going to translate onto the field? Mm-hmm. It's the same thing we were talking about Chelsea earlier when we were talking about the pitch.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. Yep.
Yeah, you can have all the talent in the world, but if they're not coached well and they don't execute properly,
it's the leadership. I always preach, and I will always preach. It's all about leadership. Always, ever, will be. As long as I've known you, about leadership. Always, and you've known me a long time, and it's always about leadership. If you don't have leadership, I mean, that's number one reason why I love Ted Lasso.
Yeah,
it's the number one reason why I love Ted Lasso. I think it's a great leadership show. Yeah. I love Coach because I think it's a great leadership show. I just think if you don't have the leadership, you don't have nothing. You have nothing. You have talent. Absolutely. That's potential for them to be great leaders because all you're doing is reproducing leaders. All you ever do is a leadership. Ohio State for me, man. I'm sorry, but let's just real quick. I know you Western boy. Listen, here's the deal. They lost their big game twice. They lost to Michigan and they lost to Georgia.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Year before that,
Georgia's a good team. So you're saying Georgia's a bad team?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying Ohio State's a bad team. And yet, somehow, some way, because they won against Penn State, which is the only top 10 team, the top 15 team they had played all year.
That was last year.
Don't care. Why even put them there? You're going to lose again.
Everyone's really hyped up on Marvin Harrison Jr. That guy is going to be a top 10 wide receiver pick.
Comes.
I think Ohio State is not top 4, but they deserve a top 7 ranking.
Top 15. Don't worry, we'll get there because I don't even have them in the top 15.
Oh, you can't remember where we put them. I forced you to put them here.
Did you? Oh, yeah. That's true. That's true. That's very true. That's very true.
Stop showing our hand. Let's keep our cards breasted here.
That's very true. Very true.
For me, my overhyped teams, I have Texas as well. Texas, I mean, again, I don't if Quinn Ewers again doesn't start playing well out the gates, it's not going to be long for people before people calling him to be benched and Arch Manning to come in. And then if Arch Manning doesn't do well, they're going to start firing up Sark's seat there. And I mean, I don't know if he's going to last another season if they don't do well. But my other team that I think people are overhyping so much this year, the AP preseason poll had them at 19. Wisconsin, bro.
All right, I agree with you. I totally agree with you.
I
don't even argue with this one. This is
I may be just a Minnesota fan, doing some good old fashioned Wisconsin hate. What's up, Minnesota? 3-time Bunyan Axe, trophy winners. Row the boat, y'all. Row the boat. But Wisconsin, and this is not me having a vendetta. This is my unbiased opinion. Is that they're putting too much hype behind Luke Fickell. I think Luke Fickell's a great coach. What he did at Cincinnati is nothing short of a miracle, bringing them to the playoff, getting them as far as they did, recruiting at the level he did in the American Athletic Conference with folks like Desmond Ridder, Sauce Gardner. I mean, those are some great players. The problem is that he's got a lot of hype behind him now. Here in Wisconsin. I have no doubt he's going to win. I think year one is too too quick to rank him that high. They're not putting any respect on other teams in the West Division. Iowa's going to probably be a tough team defensively this year. They got Cade McNamara, the Michigan transfer, helping them. Yep. Minnesota's great. They've got a new offensive coordinator. They've got a quarterback who's even more athletically talented than the prior quarterback. They're loaded at wide receiver this year, especially in the slots.
Yeah.
The thing with Wisconsin, I think that they've got a brand new quarterback who transferred in from SMU, Tanner Mordecai. I don't think he has the athleticism to really execute the new offenses because they also brought a brand new offensive coordinator in, to Phil Longo from University of North Carolina to run the air raid offense, which is so out of norm again for Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin fans aren't going to know what to do because they're not going to have a running back touching the ball every 4 out of 5 plays.
And that's a running school.
It is. And they have one of the best running backs in the nation in Braylon Allen. It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird. They need more athletic. I just don't think year one's going to be realistically. I see them winning 9 games. I don't think they're a top 25 team.
Well, I don't even see that. I think it's a 66 record, 6 or 7, and lose their bowl game.
I say 9-3 because they got a very favorable schedule this year. They got a lot of easy teams in the Big Ten, and a lot of really, really cakewalk non-conference games. But I think Wisconsin's is my overhyped team. All right, man. But we've talked about the hype train. People are going crazy on that. What about your teams not receiving enough hype? Teams that are kind of flying under that radar.
I think TCU and Washington. I think
why TCU, man? They just came off the playoff.
I think they don't give enough love that they should, as much as Ohio State has gotten. Again, TCU, they're just. I mean, come on, man. It's the get up. Oh, we lost. We're gonna get back up, and we're up again. They had 1 loss. They had 2 losses. And listen, they beat Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And they lost to Kansas State, which is probably an upset, which was an upset. But they have consistently won. And they lost to Georgia. No offense, man. You really think you're going to beat Georgia. I'm sorry. But
no, I mean, hey, they were in the national championship. That's just crazy to think about.
They get to the national championship, TCU national championship. And then they get to the national championship. They don't get but down to 16. Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I 16? No, 17? I mean, look here, 17. So what? But you have reservations.
I do. My reservations really TCU. I think I love Sonny Dykes. I think he's a great football coach. My issue with it is that they really lost a lot. They lost their Heisman candidate quarterback Max Duggan. They lost a lot of their offensive weapons. They've recruited really well, and they've had a lot in the portal come through. They have actually Minnesota wide receiver transfer Dalen Young, who came in, who's a really electric wide receiver for them in the slot. He goes up really well for contested catches. So I think they got the pieces. My concern, though, is they lost their offensive coordinator, Garrett Riley, to Clemson this offseason. So a new offensive coordinator, new starters in the key roles. I think TCU is going to do well. I just don't know if it's they're in a very competitive Big 12 this year. This is Texas and Oklahoma. This is Texas. Yeah.
But this is the thing now. This is this is the bullcrap political system that I think this has been going on since the last now 5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
Is that here's a school. If you're consistently bringing in the talent, you're consistently bringing a program.
Yep.
And they have gone to the national championship. They have rebuilt themselves, and they have now where they want to be. Put them in the rank. It gets the mindset. Like no mindset wants to be where we ranked.
Yeah.
But deep down inside, you're like, hey, we're starting off good. So put them in there. Put them in the top 10. See what they like. Put that little ease of stress to push them to be the best, not 17.
TCU, I mean, we'll see. It's a wait and see kind of thing. It's a competitive Big 12 this year. It's Texas and Oklahoma's last year in the Big 12 before they jump ship over to the SEC next year. We'll see, man. We'll see. What about Washington?
We're gonna make a clip of me just bashing Ohio State, which is great. It's gonna be great.
I'm just gonna hide my face because
just hide your face. Like, is that Kevin Rasky? Hi. No. Washington, I think they're just consistently there. I don't think they get enough hype that they should. And again, like they have always been in the last 20 to 25 years chomping at the bit to be in the top 10, top 15, more or less top 5. So again, I think these are teams that just don't get overly hyped, that they produce, that the program produced, that they have consistently put. Instead, they just put Ohio State.
So much Ohio State hate.
Oh man, I thought it was
Ohio State.
I thought it was Texas, but it's not. It's not.
No, it's Ohio State you hate more than Texas.
I can't stand Ohio State, man. It's
yeah, man.
And I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. It's not even bipartisan at this point. I love you all, Ohio State fans. But geez, man, geez.
Well, I mean, what about Washington's got you excited for them, dude? Like, I mean, I'm curious.
Just to see them in the top 10 and to see them what they could do like they did last year. I think they let's look at their team real quick. Let's see what they got. Let's see what they're bringing back. At this point that they have. I mean, yeah, okay, they got Caleb Williams at USC, but what does Washington have that has that?
Michael Penix Jr., man. Michael Penix Jr. That guy's a Heisman candidate, hands down.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah,
I mean, he alone. I mean, that Indiana University Bloomington transfer, Michael Penix Jr.
Michael Penix Jr. Yep.
Yeah, he's going to be a Heisman candidate. I think he'll have an invite to New York at the end of this year.
Yeah, I like their safety. Their safety. Ooh. 82 tackles.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep. They had a really good team last year.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. And where do you go with names? Roman Aduzzi. Roman Aduzzi. 1,100 yards. I mean, their running is not mean.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like they're a running team.
Well, they're a Pac-12 spread team. I mean,
okay. So then Michael Penix Jr. and then let's go kill him with our safety. So yeah, no, that's pretty much. So I want to see that. I want to see that.
Yeah, Penix had 4,600 passing yards last year and 31 touchdowns. I mean, that's a good stat, bro.
41 or 46?
4,600
yards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He only had 8 interceptions.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good touchdown interception rate. And 2, I mean, they return a lot of talent this year too. It's a more seasoned offense.
If they're coming back, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yep, exactly.
You got these people coming back, so that's what I'm excited for. That's
definitely. Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up with the shock.
Hang on. I didn't give my teams.
You didn't give your teams?
I didn't get to give my teams.
I thought you did. No, didn't.
I didn't. No, and I got some teams that are really going to shock.
I know.
I think I'm going to combine my shock and my not receiving enough hype this year. just
Okay.
to kind of combine that segment.
Okay.
First off, Florida State, man. I'm on the Florida State hype train. I don't like Florida State, but man, I am on that hype train for them this year. I really think have so much talent. Jordan Travis is such a gifted quarterback. They went out in the transfer portal. They got Keon Coleman, one of the best wide receivers in the portal from Michigan State. They went and just literally picked up and ripped Jaheim Bell from South Carolina and threw him down as a tight end. So Jordan Travis has got 2 more weapons. Norvell's putting together a top 5 recruiting class this year. He put a top 10 recruiting class together last year. FSU, that first game between FSU and LSU is, I think, whoever wins that game is going to be a playoff contender. Hands down.
That's good, man. That's good picks as
Yeah.
far as your that was your overhyped team or your underhyped teams.
Yeah, because the AP preseason poll had them ranked 8th.
Yeah. Where's Ohio State?
But I really think FSU is on. Another team I'm really excited to see how they do this year is Texas Tech. I know you're like no on the Red Raiders. You're you're booing them down, but Texas Tech, man, they play with reckless abandon, and I love that. They play like they have nothing else to lose.
Yep.
Yeah, they have they go for it more on 4th down than anyone else. They press hard, they play hard, they play a really hard physical game. They're going to make you earn every yard. They've recruited really well. They've really been investing in their program. I think they're not going to be going to the playoff anytime soon. But I think a lot of people are going to be really pleasantly surprised by what Texas Tech does this year. Another team that I'm gonna quickly run through these. I know we're starting to get towards time here for us, but
no, we're good. We're doing good. We're doing good.
Oh, good. That's good, man. For Kansas State is my other team that I really think needs to get some more hype. Kansas State, I know a lot of folks are like, but you forget this is returning Big 12 champions. Kansas State, they won the Big 12 last year. What's his name? Their starting quarterback's returning. He is an absolute threat he's a dual threat. He can run, he can pass. They recruited very well this offseason. Chris Kleeman, the head coach, he spent 4 years at North Dakota. North Dakota is an FCS powerhouse. He won there. He's showing he can build and win again here. People shouldn't sleep on Kansas State this year. As for group of 5 teams, everyone's really hyped on Tulane. Tulane rightfully deserves it, but UTSA is another group of 5 team to watch out for. Whoever wins the American this year is going to be the team that it's going to be a really tough team in the group of 5 to beat. So yeah, man, that's who I'm thinking on. So who do you think is going to shock this year, man?
Troy. No, I think Washington. I don't think they get enough hype, and I think they certainly have a team that they could surprise people with, and I think they could be ending with a year of the top 4. I think they'll be in the playoffs this year.
Yeah,
so it'd be certainly interesting. It'd be certainly interesting looking at Washington and USC, and certainly seeing what's going on with that. So I think it's going to be a very interesting year, a good year for them to have that, and I think it's going to be Washington. Tulane, really kind of interesting on that point, and Troy. I'm just playing too. So I think that's
that's good, man. You fought so hard to get Troy ranked in our preseason top.
You did, and we did.
You did, and we battled it out. We duked it out. I had to make some concessions to get Troy out of the top 25.
Football Field Pass top 25. This is off the press, man. Football
hot off the press, literally
25. Literally, it's hot. He's literally smoking over there. I'll do the first 5. I'll do the first 5.
You want to go bottom up, or you want to? Let's go bottom up.
Let's go bottom up. Let's go bottom up.
Go bottom up.
Football Field Fast top 25. This is Chris and Kevin's personal opinion because we are right. No, we're not. So, top. So the first top 20 will be 25 Minnesota, 24 Texas, and this is the good one here that I really think this is going to be a surprise. And I forgot to even put this in my surprise. Number 23 Pitt. Number 22, your team, the Red Raiders, Texas Tech.
Yep.
North Carolina, I really am looking at this team with Derek May being at the helm, coming back. North Carolina being number 21. South Carolina, see what they do. I don't really expect a lot, but we'll see in the top 20.
They got some high upside on them for sure.
They do have some high upside. I just want to see the consistency that they should do this year.
Yep. Spencer Rattler is going to be interesting to see what he does this year. He's probably have to take the whole team on his back again. But anyway, moving on with this, going 19 through 16 or 19 through 16 here. We've got 19 is Oregon State. A lot of people are hyped up on this team. Clemson transfer quarterback DJ Uiagalelei is quarterbacking in there. They've got a lot of pieces around him, really investing in the football program there. Number 18, Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, all aboard the Shark Train there with Lane Kiffin. He's gonna die there if they let him. I can see it now. Number 17, Kansas State, returning Big 12 champions. We'll see what happens. Number 16 is Utah Utes. Coming back, losing some key moments, but we'll see how they perform in their first game against Florida.
Yeah.
Chris, you want to take us at 15 here, man?
15-10. TCU, I really hope that they have a bounce back year. It's not even a bounce back year. They lost the national championship, but they went to the national championship, so they should be not ranked where Ohio State is. Number 14, Tulane. I'm really interested to see this wave coming in. See what I did? Wave coming in. Notre Dame, number 13, we were just over 2 as well. Number 12, Washington. I really had to fight these guys. I had to fight them in. Let's get the Wolfpack. Huskies, right? Washington Huskies. All right. Number 11, Penn State. God. What do you think about Penn State?
I think on paper they're really good this year. They've had some really good recruiting classes. They've got a really favorable schedule in the Big Ten. If they're going to win the Big Ten any year, this is the year they're going to do it. They have Ohio.
They got to be Ohio State and Michigan.
I mean, they have Ohio State at home this year, so I mean, they'll probably beat Ohio State and they'll go down in the rankings.
It's not even a question. It's not even a question. You have to. You have to be Ohio State, Michigan.
Oh yeah.
If you want to win the national championship, you got to win Michigan. You got to beat them.
The path to the Big Ten championship goes through Ohio State and Michigan every single year. And the crazy thing is Ohio State and Michigan are in the same division. And this is last year in the Big Ten with divisions because they're adding all those teams from out west in UCLA, which I by the way, we can talk about conference expansion another episode.
I can't wait to talk about that. We'll talk about that, guys. And let us know
we will
want us to talk about it. So
absolutely. But they're bringing UCLA, they're bringing Oregon, they're bringing Washington, and they're bringing what's the other Pac-12 team they're bringing in?
I got
another team out west. I really am. I'm not very happy about it. But we can talk about that another time. Let us know what your thoughts are on conference realignment and expansion going on right now. There's a lot of it. So
number 10, Alabama Roll Tide.
I feel that hurts you a little bit, but
it doesn't. I don't expect big things this year.
Believe it or not,
Nick Saban whipping the whip, but I don't expect big things right now.
Believe it or not, I had to fight Chris to make him rank Alabama in this spot.
Right.
I wanted to rank them higher.
I'm just
he wanted to rank them. He wanted to rank them 15.
Yep.
Y'all, he wanted to rank Alabama Crimson Tide, and Nick Saban, probably the greatest college football coach of all time. And this is from an LSU fan, man. I live in Baton Rouge. I live and breathe down here, LSU football. I love Minnesota. Minnesota's my team, but also I'm a big LSU fan as well. But man, Nick Saban's got that crazy look in his eyes, I love it. I'm like, dude, I do not want to see what Alabama they're gonna play. He knows something's up, man. He knows something is up.
I've seen weirder things in the last 15 years with this coach, so we'll see. We'll see.
He knows something's up. He knows he's got a good team this year. And I think the reason being is that, I mean, he's got all the talent he needs. He's got he's got some decent quarterbacks this year. I have no doubt. I mean, I wanted Alabama higher. Chris wanted him at 15. We settled on 10. That was our halfway point. But anyway, moving on. Number 9, Oregon. Number 9, Oregon. I think Oregon's going to have a really good year. I think they could end possibly close to the top 4. Bo Nix is going to be a definite Heisman candidate. Dan Lanning, the head coach, is recruiting still like he's at Georgia. And bringing in so much weapons. They got a phenomenal running back in Bucky Irving, Minnesota transfer, by the way. I really think as long as all cylinders are clicking this year, Oregon's going to be a team to be contested with. And number 8, we have Tennessee, the Vols, back on Rocky Top. Even after all the recruiting violations, they walk off unscathed while Harbaugh is sitting on the sidelines for 3-4 games.
Buying burgers. Don't you buy those burgers.
Buying burgers. But the real reason with Harbaugh was because of recruiting in a dead period, is what they said. Anyway, but Tennessee, they got Joe Milton. Speaking of Michigan transfer quarterback Joe Milton to Tennessee. Milton's offense this year, I think he can do something really special. They got a lot of they got the hype behind them. Peyton Manning is going to be a professor at the university this year.
Move on.
Move on. Weird, man. Number 7, Clemson. Number 7, Dabo Swinney's back with Clemson. He hired away Garrett Riley from TCU. They needed an offensive reinvigoration. They got it. Number 6, Chris, close your ears. You may not want to hear this.
Keep moving forward. Number 5.
Ohio State Buckeyes are at number 6.
You fought hard to get them up. I did not want them there.
I wanted them top 5. I don't think they're top 4. I wanted them 5. He let me put them 6. Thank you, Chris. I love you, brother. Man, number 5. What you want to give us number 5?
So let's wrap them up. FSU. Let's see what they can do. Don't bring me down. LSU, number 4. I just threw up my mouth. Number 3, Southern Cal.
Alexa, play that. Sorry.
I really, and number 1.
Number 1. Our number 1, just like everyone else, is them dogs in Georgia. It's the University of Georgia. They are just, my goodness. And when we talk about dynasty, I mean, Kirby's great, man. I think I have a lot of appreciation for the guy. I think he's a good coach, man. But anyway, Georgia. there's the football field pass top 25. But yeah, man, the college football, man, the gridiron.
That was awesome. Great stuff. Yeah. Great stuff. This is gonna be a great year. It's gonna be a great year.
I'm so excited, man.
I'm gonna just have to drink coffee during the time we record. But yes, this is a great year. So let's wrap it up. Chris. So this is our segment, Chris and Kevin picks. Our Chris and Kevin picks are going to be 2 picks of the segment. So basically, we're going to have the pitch players, which are going to be the Premier League players of the weekend that we think deserve the weekend pitch player of the Premier League. So the next part, which we'll do next week, we'll do the gridiron players of the week. So this weekend now was only the pitch players. And Kevin, who is your pitch player of the week?
Premier League player of the week. My Premier League pitch player of the week. Hands down, Phil Foden. Phil Foden, man. Phil Foden. Foden is a wizard. Yeah, a wizard. He's guy's got beautiful footwork. He's got beautiful coordination, beautiful sight, beautiful vision in the field. I think easily he's gonna. I mean, while De Bruyne is out, he'll be a really good replacement. And he'll help Man City do what Man City does best and win. Man, I have no doubt. I mean, Man City's my team to repeat this year. I mean, I think they're going to repeat.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Chris? Who's your pitch player of the week?
I think the Phil Foden pick is great. I think what he was just impressive when I watched that game with Newcastle and just coming in with De Bruyne being hurt. Mm-hmm. So, Julian Alvarez. Yes. Foden was my man match. Julian Alvarez is my just to come in to do what he needed to do for, and they're 2 forwards, so Thor Hallen and Julian Alvarez. So absolutely, I think he's the pitch player of the weekend for me. So we cannot wait to present this to you guys. So
absolutely, guys, absolutely. It's a lot of fun for us. We're gonna be, we're excited. Obviously, we're gonna be covering college football next week. It's week 0, a lot of different games. I mean, the fact that we have college football being played in Dublin, Ireland with Notre Dame. The Notre Dame Irish are going to be in Dublin, Ireland this upcoming week for week 0. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens this weekend in college football, even though it's a bunch of, week 0 games. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Hawaii, in Vanderbilt's unfinished stadium. coming out of. I mean, it's sad to hear what's happened in Hawaii. You know, thoughts and prayers up for them for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. You know, it's not easy to lose everything like that. I'm hoping Hawaii and Vanderbilt come together and, you know, show some acknowledgement, support, giving some light to the circumstances they're going through.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Final thoughts, man.
Yeah. I mean, like we said, we've been hyped up about college football. College football's back.
I was
my
hyped
wife
up Premier
is.
League. I was hyped
I mean,
up.
I'm hyped up on Premier League too. I mean, we've had so much Premier League activity, and if you follow us on Instagram, you know that.
Oh yeah.
You know that we've had so much Premier League content. I had one follower comment to me today that I know personally say, "Y'all, so much Premier League content when you get to the football, American football."
Here we go.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's a coming. Like in the words of Deion Sanders, we coming.
No.
Absolutely, man. It's gonna be great. I'm excited for y'all. I'm excited for us. I mean, I hope y'all have enjoyed this first episode. As always, like, comment, share, subscribe. You know, we are so appreciative of anyone who gives us their valuable time. If you have any comments, DM us, give us I mean, this is our first episode. I mean, Chris, our first episode, man. It's in the bag.
Well, it's in the bag, man. Dude, it's been real.
It's been real. I'm excited. We'll be talking with you. We'll see you next week. Hey guys, it's Kevin here. On behalf of Chris and myself, we want to thank you so much for watching this episode of Football Field Pass. In between episodes, we encourage you to head over to our website, footballfieldpass.com, for more exclusive content like blogs and more. We also encourage you to follow us on social media and get into the conversation there and let us know what you want to hear about. We can't wait to see you next week on another episode of Football Field Pass.